Hi, it's Marianne the Frugal Chef. Let's make some Christmas cutout cookies. These are really nice to make. They're easy. They're a lot of fun for the kids because they like to decorate them. And you know, once they're made, you can always freeze them. That way nobody eats them before Christmas, huh? and then, you know, thaw them when you need them. Every Christmas I like to make platters with cookies and fudge and brownies and stuff for the teachers at school, for the mailman, for the garbage man, for everybody. You know, it's a lot cheaper than going out and purchasing gifts, and it's a lot more personable too. So let's start with these cutout cookies, and then through the weeks now we'll make a bunch of other stuff so that we can have these nice platters ready for Christmas time. Okay, let me show you how I make these. So for these cookies, we're gonna need 3/4 cup of butter, which has been sitting here at room temperature, so it's nice and softened, and 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my stand-up mixer, and I'm gonna use my paddle to cream it. I'm not gonna have you know, look at that because it's noisy and you can't hear anything, and you know, what's the point? But I'll cream this, and then once that is creamed, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I have 1 teaspoon of orange zest here, which is really just finely grated orange peel without the white membrane, okay? I put the orange zest in there just to make, you know, give my cookies a little special flavor, but you don't have to. If you want, you can use lemon zest instead, or no zest at all. Put a little bit of cinnamon in it if you'd like, or just put nothing in at all, just the cream and the vanilla, okay? Sometimes I'll use half vanilla, half almond extract. That also works. Okay, so now let's whisk together our dry ingredients. In here I have 2 cups of flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, and ½ a teaspoon of salt, okay? Now I'm gonna add this probably in three parts to my cream butter, and then I'll come back and show you what the dough looks like. Okay, so here's our finalized dough. All right, couple of comments on this. Number 1, make sure you do scrape the sides of your bowl while you're putting in your dry ingredients as well, okay? And secondly, all I want you to do is when you put your dry ingredients in is mix it, let it incorporate, and then stop. I don't want you to beat this to death because I don't want you to have a really hard cookie, okay? So of course this is a very, very soft dough, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it in 2, and I'm going to wrap it in plastic, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it be there until tomorrow, okay? So here's our dough a day after, and it's nice and hard, as you can see. I split the dough in 2 like I told you, wrapped it, and put it in the fridge, okay? We're going to now roll this out, and we'll cut our cookies. This recipe will give you about 36 cookies. I'm sure I'm going to be making many, many more of these for my platters, but I just wanted to show you how it comes out nice and hard. Now let's work these and make our cookies. I'm going to flour my clean board here, and we'll roll out our cookies, okay? I was looking at the footage of the video yesterday, and I realized that I forgot to tell you I was also adding an egg to the butter and the sugar. So the first thing is butter, cream it with sugar, add the egg. The egg was at room temperature, and it was a large egg, okay? And then the cream and the vanilla and the zest. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and work this dough. I want to roll it out to about ½ an inch thick, okay? And then we'll use our cookie cutters to cut it. Alright, so I have a star, and I have an angel, and a mitt here, some snowflakes, and a wreath, okay? So I'm just going to cut these cookies as close as I can to each other, and just cut it, and then I'm going to put them on a baking sheet with, I have a silicone pad that I use instead of parchment paper. But if you don't, please line a baking sheet, a cookie sheet with some parchment paper, okay? So I'm going to put them on there. Okay, so now that everything's been cut, I'm going to go ahead and roll this, a little more flour, okay? I'm going to re-roll this and cut some more so that I'm not wasting any dough. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all of my dough. And I want you to place your cookies about that distance from each other, okay, on your baking pan. So we're going to go ahead and bake these at 350, okay, for about 9 to 10 minutes. Now, you have to be really vigilant with these cookies because they will burn really fast, okay? What we want is for the edges to be light brown, and then the rest of the cookie will be light, and that's how it's supposed to look. I'll show you once we take them out of the oven. But don't you know, put them in the oven and then go have a long conversation on the phone with your favorite person in the world, because they will burn, okay? So let me finish this. I'll bake them and I'll come back and I'll show you what they're supposed to look like once they're on the baking sheet. Okay, I will see you in a few minutes. These cookies were in the oven for 10 minutes, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but the tips of some of them are nice and, you know, lightly brown, and that's what I wanted. I don't want them to get brown themselves, see? So now I'm going to wait for a few minutes for them to cool down, and then I'm going to take them off with a spatula and put them on my cooling rack. Don't do it immediately because your cookie's going to crumble, and oh well, you'll have to eat it, okay? So let's let this cool for a little bit, and I'll show you when they're on the cooling rack. So here's one of my cookie pans. They cooled down a few minutes, so now they were easy to pick up with a spatula and put on the cooling rack, okay? I'm not going to decorate these now. That's a completely different video. The reason is because tomorrow we have a bunch of little kids that are coming over, and I'm going to let them decorate it. I don't think I'm going to film them because I'd have to get permission from all their parents to put it up online. But we will decorate these, not these, but you know, cut out cookies. I will be finishing baking the rest of these, cool them down, and I'm going to put them away. Now, if you were going to freeze these after they're really, really cold, you know, after they've cooled down completely, you would have to wrap them very, very nicely in plastic wrap, okay? But maybe wrap 6 at a time or 8 at a time, okay? Maybe all the stars stacked together, all the angels stacked together so they don't break. And then just freeze that, and you can be taking them out as you need them. These will also keep very nicely in an airtight container for about 3 or 4 weeks. So you don't need to freeze them if you want to just put them in an airtight container. Okay, my friends. Cut out cookies from thefrugalchef.com. Make sure you come and visit us. We have all kinds of recipes that are not in video form. Eat well without going broke, and I will see you guys soon.